Well, it was another impressive week by the Utah Jazz, taking care of business at home and on the road, beating teams they should beat, which isn't always easy.
Yeah, this week for Jazz Rewind, we look back at some of the things that stood out in the 4 wins over the Pelicans, Knicks, Hornets, and Wizards.
Lillard will drive and shoot, rejected by Gobert.
This is an interesting stat that indicates just how good the Jazz are this season. They're winning close games, better than any other team in the NBA. Clutch games are defined as NBA games where the margin is 5 or fewer points with 5 minutes left to go or less. With Sunday's win over the Wizards, they're now 18-6 in those games. That's the best mark in the NBA. Last year, the Jazz were 15-18 in clutch games, a complete turnaround.
3-game road trip, we're going to be a little tired, but for us to be able to persevere the way we did and show resiliency shows the improvements we have made. You know, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, who knows, what happens. I think the Laker game at home was really a low point for us, one of the lowest points, and obviously the East Coast road trip. So be able to be where we are now after remembering that, I think that's still fresh in our mind, and we should always keep that mentality that we don't want to go back to that.
How about Bojan Bogdanovic? He had the scoring touch.
Joel, off the bogey, feeling it inside, outside. Absolutely.
There we go. Bojan Bogdanovic, the scoring touch against the Pelicans, a season-high 35 points. That's about it because he had 0 rebounds and 0 assists, and he was the butt of jokes in the locker room. So after he had 3 boards and 3 assists in the Jazz next game against the Knicks, he let his teammates have it.
See, they were making fun of me last 2 days, but I triple my numbers tonight, so I'm good. I'm good.
Nice pass down low. Ingles as a magician inside of Clarkson. Team back out, wide open. Georges Niang fires and hits it home. Oh, Jazz are just ripping the nets early in the quarter.
One reason why the Jazz have won 9 straight games, they now have a very productive bench. Jordan Clarkson has been a huge addition, averaging 15 points per game. The Jazz are 9-0 since his addition. Emmanuel Mudiay has been outstanding. He's averaging 15 in his last 3 games. And then there is the minivan, Georges Niang. He's shooting 49% from 3 in his last 10 games. He scored in double figures in 4 games during this win streak and has earned himself a nickname.
The minivan is moving right now.
He is the minivan. You talking about our minivan? It's the best shooter I've probably ever seen, man. Right now, he said he's playing like a Tesla, so I don't even know if that's a minivan anymore.
Clarkson dump it inside, and Gobert with a 2-hander.
Once again, can anyone tell me why Rudy Gobert is not getting more love in the All-Star voting? I know, he plays for the small market Jazz, right? But seriously, he's on track to make history this season, becoming the 2nd player ever and first since Artis Gilmore in 1982 to average more than 15 points, shoot 65%, and average 10-plus boards and 2-plus blocks per game. Coach Snyder says you have to look beyond the highlights to see his real value.
So his playmaking ability out on the floor, just, it doesn't have, it's not playmaking in the way that, Donovan would make a play, but it's equally effective when he's precise. And to be precise, that's simple, fundamental things that you have to work on and repeat, and then they become habits. And a lot of times guys don't want to work on that stuff. It's not glamorous, to go out there and pivot and pass, but you see it show up in the game.